As you might have noticed, Last of Us Part 2 has officially released worldwide, breaking records on PlayStation with the most copies of a game sold, and also breaking the hearts of millions of players in just 30 minutes of the game. Before I continue this video, it will contain some spoilers for the story, so if you still somehow don't know about the leaks that were released months ago and you don't know the actual big part of the story, then go play the game or watch a playthrough of it, because I will be talking about like the best scene in my opinion and the best part of the game. So once you do that, be sure to come back. If you're sticking around though, be sure to subscribe. We're so close to 4,000 subscribers, which is insane. And also, I've set an insane goal for my YouTube channel of hitting 10,000 subscribers. So if you're new, be sure to subscribe. If you want to continue, be sure to subscribe. It's free. And like the video, I guess. It helps out the video being spread and just in general. And then it also lets me know if people like this type of content. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Seeing Joel getting absolutely slaughtered unhumanely in the first 30 minutes of the game really put a toll on me, and who already knew about everything going into the game, but also all the innocent people who stuck by not looking at the leaks. This video isn't about that horrible scene and how it just doesn't make sense to me with some parts. If you want an in-depth breakdown of the game and things like that, be sure to stick around the YouTube channel, as I will be doing an in-depth look at the game and breakdown of some big important parts of it. But anyway, as you progress through the story, which is a very different take from the first one, the first game being dark and having perfect balance between it with Joel and Ellie's relationship, and in the sequel it being super dark, slightly boring, and the only thing making me smile or have hope on the characters is Ellie's and Dina's relationship. But then again, it rarely ever happens until I reached a certain point in the game, that being the theater. In this first place, I enjoyed the small story of the man who was basically blown up with the electricity that he tried to fix. Rest in peace, my guy. When you finally get access to the main big area of the theater, you find a guitar. May I add that I really like the new addition of the game mechanic where you can play the guitar freely, or even in general play the guitar and people start singing. I really enjoyed it, and I really am looking forward to the future of this. Anyway, Ellie plays a little tune, and after she's done, we get a black screen. When I saw this, I got a tear jerk. I instantly knew that Joel and Ellie were back and that I can finally see them two together again. This part of the game gave me flashbacks to the first game where Ellie used to be the joyful, quirky person and Joel was just the perfect kind of contrast for her. He was the father figure that Ellie needed in her life, and there's a really nice touch to show us how Ellie finally got to learn how to swim, because in the first game, Joel had to risk getting hypothermia to get a plank so Ellie could not drown. As you progress through all the things they talk about, Ellie is trying to guess what the big surprise Joel has for her, which turns out to be a big museum. The first stage of this is about the ancient beasts, dinosaurs. As you slowly progress through the area and put on a hat on every single dinosaur, there are little bits and pieces that really show the true potential that the sequel could have been for the game. Another buddy up with Joel, but this time from the perspective of Ellie, where you can do some funny things with her and Joel and have deep and joyful emotional scenes. That's not what we got with the game. We got a deep dark story that just doesn't work for everyone, and what I can personally only enjoy are flashbacks to where Joel was not dead. But back to the music. Joel talks about each and every dinosaur and how he knows who they are because of a movie he watched, that being Jurassic Park from my understanding. And there's this perfect part that I've seen plenty of people making fun of Twitter, where Joel talks about the sequel of Jurassic Park and how it wasn't very good, which just fits perfect as Last of Us Part 2 can heavily relate.
Actually, yeah, but a different one. See, there's a sequel. Wasn't as good.
Earlier in the game, we learned that Ellie wants to be an astronaut and that she loves space, which is perfect for what comes up. Joel takes her on a special part of the museum where it's all to do with space. We got some funny and interesting dialogue from both of the characters, but my most favorite part of this entire game, and the reason why I'm making this video, is where Ellie and Joel are in the Apollo 11 landing shuttle. Ellie is blown away by how mesmerizing this experience is, an escape from the constant fear that you might die tomorrow or even even today because of an infection that is uncurable, and escape from all their problems, an experience of what it was like when everything was normal. And what makes this scene 100 times better is when Joel surprises Ellie with a tape of the audio from the first ever moon landing. This scene captures her emotions and everything about it is so intensely well made. I experienced this with joy and happiness about how horrible her life and his life are going to get, how they are treated, and how it personally makes me feel. Ellie goes on an adventure to space with the scene changing to a view of her face and she imagines flying to space. This was perfect, where I could relax and remember the great times they had in the first game, where I could see the true potential that Last of Us Part 2 could be. After you're done with the space shuttle, you progress on a more darker part of the game where Ellie finds some deep, dark, written stuff on a wall that seriously creeped me out, and to which we get to the end where Ellie finds a massive spray paint saying liars, and above a symbol that is revealed to be the fireflies. In evil of the first game, as Ellie thought, which kind of can mirror to the ending of the first game where Joel freed, or whatever perspective you have on the game, he took Ellie and they went to Jackson and he lied to her that everything was normal. This scene is very strong and I really enjoyed it, and I will definitely, for sure, if I ever replay the game, I will replay this part 1,000 times. Now that's all for the scene. I wanted to make a video especially on it because I just really enjoyed it. I am still yet to finish the game. After that, everything seems so pointless. Straight away being forced to kill gangs of people and dogs and only some intense bits here and there. I know the ending of the game and honestly it feels useless to finish the game. I was hoping that I'd enjoy the game even after I saw the leaks, but I just can't. It's just not very well made at times, and there's some story aspects that personally I just don't like very much. Now obviously I see a lot of people saying they hate it and some saying that they love it. I personally am kind of in the middle. Sometimes it can be enjoyable, sometimes it can't. My favorite part personally being the scene that I just talked about and all of the little pieces that there are that you can find of side stories where people back in the past were trying to survive at the beginning of the outbreak. One of the best parts being Seattle. But without a further ado, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is a very different video than I usually make, with my YouTube channel being basically a mess. But if you made it this far and you agreed with me in any kind of way, be sure to subscribe and be on the lookout for that Last of Us Part 2 review kind of thing that I will do. Like, share, comment, subscribe, whatever, other YouTubers say.